Man, did I go back and forth about making this video. I guess it's finally time to give up the secret of unicorn pussy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you heard in the intro, I'm going to be giving up the secret to unicorn pussy after, 6 years. If you guys don't know the background of this color, I actually had been working on a color similar to this for probably 3 or 4 years, honestly. Spent a ton of money and time trying to come up with a color that mimicked SSR Spectrum Silver. I'll put a picture of that here so you guys can see it. Still haven't quite hit it, but this is as close as I've ever gotten. It's definitely the closest you're going to find in a powder coatable form. You can see this valve cover on the right, and I'll do that actually now. I'll throw some light on this. You can see this valve cover on the right. You can see the color change that happens. Let me see if I lift it here. Oh, this is a terrible. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see the color change that happens. Nice smooth transition of the color. Very small flake, very defined lines. You know, you can see the blue to green to yellow to orange to red. This valve cover on the left was not powder coated by me, but we will get to that here in just a second. So I tried many different flakes, trying to come up with a flake that was like this. I actually found the exact flake that SSR uses. Theirs are all wet painted. I found their exact same flake. The problem with it is the color burns out of it in the oven. And if you look on the internet, you'll see anybody who has SSR Spectrum Silver wheels has been, that's taken their car to like a track day, like a road race type track. Anytime those wheels get hot, the color burns out of the flake. So they end up with, just a silver wheel, basically, instead of having the flake in it that they were looking for initially. And it's a fairly expensive upgrade for SSR, so it's kind of a bummer to have it burn out. I experienced the exact same thing in the powder coating process, of course. So had to find a different flake. Finally settled on this flake. The downside of this flake is that it will not take a static charge. It will not take a positive charge. I have tried it a number of different ways, different settings on different guns, trying to get it to go and attach to a part, and it will not. As soon as you spray it out of a gun, it will literally falls to the ground. Gravity just pulls it away. So the way that I've gotten around that is literally having it put into an aerosol can. I guess this is aerosol. I'm not really sure what the carrier is for this. I have the flake mixed with a carrier, and when you spray it onto a part, which we'll get to, I'm going to show you guys this whole process. I got some valve covers over here and some other bottles and stuff that we're going to be doing. The carrier for this evaporates or goes away immediately. So when you spray it onto a part, this is not paint. This is not like a clear coat with a flake in it. If you spray this on and you wipe the flake off, the flake will just come back off. It literally carries it to the part and lets it sit there, and that's it. It allows you to stack the flake. You can literally put as much of this on as you want. There is a point where the color shift effect starts to get kind of jumbled if you stack it too many times, just because it's you're working on light hitting the flake in a certain way, and then when it has to go through other flake, it changes. I've recently shipped out 3 of these cans, or actually 4 of these cans to 3 different people. If you guys are looking to order some, contact me. I can get you set up. They're not cheap. Each one of these cans is $75. So 1 can is enough. I mean, you can do a set of faces. You can do a whole set of wheels. I tend to go a little bit over 1 can, but you could probably get away with just doing 1 can on most sets of wheels. Valve covers, you can get a couple valve covers out of a can like this. With that being said, the reason that this came to be and the reason that I wanted to make a color like this is most of the flakes that come from, off-the-shelf powder coaters, which, this is not. You'll see some claims that people make that this is an off-the-shelf powder that I just call something different. But anybody who's seen this color in person knows that that's obviously not the case. This valve cover was shot by a local competitor who was telling people that they could replicate this. You know, that this coater is no longer in business, so it doesn't really matter. But all this is City Lights or Rainbow's End. I don't remember which. They're literally identical. I think Vegas Lights is also the same from Prismatic. And I know there's some other brands that make them as well. So this flake doesn't have the same color definition, is much like bigger flake, and it's like spread out weird. It doesn't have, you know, when I say color definition, you know, on this one you can see the color change. Like down in here you can see this blue. This one I don't know. I mean, you can get color to show on it. And this, to be fair, this wasn't cleared. I didn't put this, you know, I didn't coat this valve cover, so with the clear I think it would have helped this a little bit, especially because this is just a horrendous job coating. I was never happy with these flakes. I was never happy with all the flakes that I had tried to order. The flakes that I can get to just spray out of a powder coating gun like we all want to do. I can't get anything that's this small of a flake that has this much color effect that doesn't burn out in the oven. So we got to this point. Get these out of the way here. Let me see if I might be able to show any more color on this. Yeah, this fluorescent light sucks, but you can see the color definition in this is much, much different. I mean, this valve cover is old. This has been beaten, sits on the shelf, gets stuff thrown on it constantly, so it's not in the best of condition, but you can see absolutely all the color change that happens on this, and it's an absolutely gorgeous color. So, with that being said, I got these two valve covers here. And then, of course, I have my trusty bottles that I do sampling with. You know, most of the time I just do spray outs of these just to get color samples, or if I'm mixing powder, I'll do a spray out on these. They're nice, you know, these are just Budweiser bottles, I believe it is, with the coating stripped off. These are great for showing color because they're round in a couple different ways, you know, so you can see like the true definition, especially in metallics and things like that. The reason I'm going to be spraying multiple bottles, I'm going to be spraying a valve cover with Unicorn Pussy. I'm going to show you that whole process. I'm going to show another one with, I have City Lights here in stock, so I'm going to be spraying this as well and clearing it so you get an overall idea, because this will also end up cleared. The reason that I have these bottles is I'm going to end up, you know, I get a lot of questions as to what color that you can put Unicorn Pussy over, because it can't just go over anything. I'm going to put it over white. I'll probably just grab like a plain red and a matte black to show you, and then I'll do a gloss black one, which is the normal base for Unicorn Pussy. I'll do a gloss black one so that you guys can see it compared to like over a matte black, because it's a huge difference in the effect of the flake. The flake needs something reflective coming back to actually get the color out to create the effect that we're looking for. With that being said, it going over chrome plating looks amazing. It go over gold plating looks absolutely amazing. But you put it over chrome powder, it's not great. You can barely see it's there. So I'm gonna put it over, actually I might, you know, I'll do a spray out of chrome as well and do Unicorn Pussy over top of that so you guys can get an idea of what that looks like. So we'll do a white one, a red one, a matte black, a gloss black, and a chrome. I guess I'll have to get one more bottle. So let's get started with that. I already got these blasted. These are just, I think they're off of a old Dakota, if I remember correctly, just a V6 Dakota. I just wanted two matching covers just so we could see an actual variation of the colors side by side. And then I'll prep these bottles the rest of the way, and we'll go from there. Let's get started. All right, so gonna do this first cover. This is gonna be the one that is Unicorn Pussy. I'm gonna turn my booth on here. Hopefully it's not too loud. It requires a mirror black base or a gloss black base, no matter what. You have to put a gloss black base on these. Like I said prior, you need something kind of reflective. So I didn't mask this valve cover. This is literally just, I'm only doing this to show you guys this color comparison. Then I'm gonna be stripping this cover. This is a mirror black from Powdura. It's a Sherwin-Williams paint. This is actually a mirror black 2, I believe. Spraying at 40 kV, about 6 PSI in going through this unit. Still spraying with the Hyper Smooth 02 for these videos. So pretty basic. I didn't clean this super well, so you might see some like little silver flakes in this. But they're going to be very tiny and not going to affect what we're doing here. I'm not actually working right now. I have, you know, kind of limited capacity with my hand in this fine brace, so I'm not doing any actual work. And as you can see, I'm spraying everything with my right hand, which if you watch this channel, you know that that is not normal. So just throw this black on here. I'm using the wireless mic setup again today, and hopefully it's been okay. I did just bump the pressure up to about 8 psi. I didn't realize this hopper was so low on powder, so. All right. We'll get this one thrown in the oven and load up the city lights to spray that. All right, got the city lights loaded up. Spraying on the same type of cover. Once again, we're not doing any masking or anything. This is just for demonstrating some color side by side. Spraying at 45 kV, got it around 7 psi right now. And this is city lights from Prismatic. So this is like I don't remember what the description is. I'll put the description in the video here somewhere so that you guys can see what it is. But it's just like a rainbow flake in a black base. And I tend, in an effort to get as much color as possible, I tend to lay this color maybe a little heavier than I might normally, like on a, on a regular color. Nothing crazy, but enough, trying to get some color in there. Figure the more powder, the more flake. Although the more powder covering the flake, I guess just the same. So I'm gonna put this here in front of the camera. Hopefully that picks up some of the flake that is in here, this rainbow flake. I'll throw this in the oven to cure. Okay, and as with any can of anything, you're gonna want to shake it up, make sure that it gets nice and mixed up. I got the light on this camera. I'm gonna use a light on this camera phone as well, just to kind of help show the color in here. But this is going to go on, essentially like a spray paint. You don't want to hose it on, because the carrier, whatever the carrier is in this, like it can build up when you first spray it on, before it like evaporates away or whatever it does, and it'll leave what look to be like little circles.
What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick minute to interrupt this video and tell you guys about the Facebook page or Facebook group that I started. You can see here, just search UKC space Army. It's mostly just a gathering of powder coaters talking about powder coating things. Mostly people on the channel, obviously. So I post teaser pictures, videos, upcoming things, lots of cool questions and projects going on in there. So feel free to take a look. Also want to remind you to make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 2,000 subs now, so getting real close. So like and subscribe. Thanks.
Physically can't push the button down. But. And these nozzles, you can actually rotate the spray pattern to be vertical or horizontal, just so you know. I don't ever change them, but probably all just a preference thing. I'll record on this other phone as well. So like I said, you don't want to go crazy heavy. You just want to do a few light coats. And when I say a few light coats, you don't really have to wait in between. You just can't hose it on. So, I mean, you just saw me spray that. That's the, pretty much the right way to do it. And you can already see, even with that little bit on, the effect is already there. So, sorry for this light like bouncing off my finger. I can't hold this phone very well in my hand. And you can, you can stack this quite a bit before it becomes an issue. You know, it's the reason that I'm telling you to try to be careful with it is because this is, you know, fairly expensive. It's $75 a can. So, you know, you don't want to have a lot of mistakes with it, and you don't want to spend half the can learning how to spray it. You know, I'm working to get more of this flake. You know, putting this stuff in the cans alone is costing me about $35. It's, I think, $38 per can just to have the can itself made. That's not me including the flake. You know, the flake is another expense on top of that. But you can see here how effective that is. I mean, that color change is ridiculous compared to anything else. This is before clear is on. This is before anything. So I'm going to put a little bit more on this just to kind of give it as much definition as possible. Part of me wants to almost like mess up parts so you guys can see what it looks like, but it doesn't translate on camera very well. It just, the flake doesn't look nearly as cool, basically. So I'll keep working this thing. I don't know why I keep grabbing it with my left hand like I can spray it with my left hand. It literally does not even enough strength to push the button down. I can't hold the can the right way to push the button down. It's all just ridiculous. Okay. I'll grab the other camera, get some more footage of this. I mean, you can see, you know, this flake alone, just looking at this flake, like, there's nothing else like this on the market. It doesn't matter. Lots of other coaters have said this is just an off-the-shelf powder, and I just call it something different. Or they can replicate the same thing. I know Black Label Coatings makes a color similar, but even he's, I think, has said that this color is much more vibrant and stands out a lot more. So his is definitely the closest. His has definitely been the closest that I've seen that anybody else has done. So we'll let this sit, and then we'll be throwing clear on this, and we'll be throwing clear on the city lights that we just put in as well. All right, now that we got those covers, well, the city lights is curing. We got the other cover with the unicorn pussy on it just hanging out over here. It's going to be getting clear here shortly. There is no curing between putting the unicorn pussy on and putting clear on. You just let it sit for a couple minutes, make sure that stuff all evaporates. You can see it kind of go away, so it's not a question of whether or not it's gone. So what I got here, this is a matte black. This is actually called Silk Satin Black. This is a prismatic color that I actually don't use anymore, but figured it'd be a good choice for underneath here because I know a lot of people use this color. Do that, and I'm gonna do a Super Chrome 2 bottle as well. And really this is just to show you guys that, you know, although this color is great, it doesn't translate well on color, on certain colors. You know, like I said, gloss black, great. Chrome plating, great. Gold plating, great. Polished aluminum, it shows up pretty well as well. Actually, I have an example of that I'll show you. But we're gonna throw this over matte black just so you can kind of see that it doesn't work without that reflective base that it needs. Same process. Let me throw in the flake down over top. You might, I don't know how well you can see it on this camera actually, but this color, you can kind of see the stuff evaporate off when it hits. I'll have to ask them what this stuff is, because there's a chance that if you guys could just have this made wherever you're at, I can send you the flake and you can have it made. And then grab this light, this other camera with some light in it. Oops. And see if we can get that to show up on this mat. It does show up a little bit. I mean, it's not like it's not there, but you can see it's not nearly the same. I mean, this looks, flake-wise, looks closer to city lights in my opinion. You know, the color's real inconsistent. It's just like a weird rainbow flake. It doesn't have any sort of consistency in the color change or anything like that. So we'll do it over Super Chrome 2 next. I do know that the stuff that's in this can is not like an actual like chemical. It's just something that they can compress that binds to the flake and carries it over. It has a smell, but I can't even really describe what the smell is. It doesn't even smell like it's toxic or anything, and I don't know that, so don't take my word for it there. But I don't know that it's actually bad for you. You know, I of course have this booth off right now. Probably not a great example, but throw some of this on. Now you can see it on here. Well, I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but you can definitely see on here where it evaporates away. So do the same thing again and throw this light on it. Oop. Oop. I don't know how well this is even showing up. Looks blurry almost. So you get the general idea. It shows up a little bit over the chrome, but not at all like chrome plating. And I'll show you that here in a second. Okay, and I'll show you this on gold plating as well. This is 22 karat gold plated steel. This is a pulley off of a car here. For you guys that don't know, I do a ton of gold plating, gold and copper and black chrome. Turn the light on here. See if I can't hold this phone a little easier. There we go. Process is no different, of course. Throwing this on. You can already see how much flake shows up on a, once again, highly reflective surface. That's what really matters for this color or this flake to pop and show through. You can see that a couple sprays on there and it's already at that point. So gives you all right, this is before clear. I don't know how well. Oh yeah, you can see it. So you got Unicorn Pussy on the left. This is a shot of Vermeer Black, like I mentioned before. You can see when I kind of move the light. And then this is City Lights. I'll move these closer to the camera here. So there's a Unicorn Pussy, tiny flake, super color or super defined color definition, color breakthrough. So you see each color pop up, real defined line where each color is. And then Unicorn Pussy, or not Unicorn Pussy, City Lights. So much bigger flake, color is not nearly as defined. The problem with it having a bigger flake is you're not going to get that same color definition in it no matter what. It's still there. I mean, you can still see flake and color, and hopefully that shows up at least for you guys on the camera. So it's still there, it's just not quite the same, and that's kind of what I wanted to show. But we'll clear coat this because both of them recommend a clear coat, and we'll go from there. Okay, throwing clear vision over both of these, shooting at about 40 kV. This is over City Lights. I use clear vision a lot anyway, but I figured making sure that we're using the same clear on both of these was the safe bet here. That's that. Throw that in the oven. All right. Do the same thing. Unicorn Pussy. Same setting, same everything. About 40 kV, about 7 psi right now. Hopper is a little fuller than it might normally be, so the psi being at 7, putting out a little more powder than you'd normally see when I spray 7 psi. Alright, throw that one in the oven. Okay, here they are side by side. Got unicorn pussy here. Just using the LED that's on the phone that I'm recording with, just to show color. It's real hazy outside because of all the fires, so you know, can't use like sunlight because it's just all diffused obviously through the smoke. But unicorn pussy here and city lights here. So something that I've noticed that's weird about this particular color is that I have all these red flakes in it, and I wonder, there was a time that there was a color called fire lights, which was essentially city lights with some extra red flake in it, and I think I mixed it into this bag way back in the day. So you can still see it has all that same like rainbow effect, all the same shenanigans, but it's not nearly as defined. And you also get, I don't know if you can see some of these, where the flake is actually sticking up through the clear, and that's pretty common on this particular color. You can see this not like a great overall finish. That's why I don't typically use any of these colors, but you get the general idea here. Obviously, side by side, there's no comparison of the two. So anyway, if you guys are interested in purchasing this color, it's definitely available. I don't want people seeing these valve covers unmasked and not know that I intentionally did not mask them. These are just for displaying color for you guys in this video. They're going to go in the strip tank as soon as they are done here. So if you guys are interested in purchasing unicorn pussy, you can contact me. It's $75 a can. Went over some of the details at the beginning of the video as far as how far a can goes, so let me know. Alright guys, well, there you go. The secret's out, I guess. I've never really shown anybody the process for unicorn pussy other than a couple of real close friends of mine. In fact, I don't think I've ever shown any powder coaters how it works. Maybe one here locally. I do have, I want to say I have like 43 cans of this available. 41 cans of this available. If you're looking to buy a can, you're gonna have to contact me. I don't have a way to just like direct go purchase one on a website or anything currently. I don't know if I can ship this overseas. I'm guessing I won't be able to because it's in a like propellant form. But I will see if there's a way that I can, if you guys have a way of getting it in something similar, I'll find out what the chemical or whatever they're putting in these cans to carry the flake over. I'll get a hold of that information so you guys can see if you can find that local, and then I can ship you the flake and have this made up the exact same way. So tried a couple different ways of putting the flake in and like how much flake can go in at a time. We kind of decided that this was the best for overall effect. So like I said, if you're interested, contact me, let me know. Hopefully this cleared up a bunch of the questions about unicorn pussy. I know that this has been an ongoing thing, and I think this is episode 65, but we're well past that now. I think we're already at episode 72 or 71 or something like that now. So all the information down below to contact me. I'll put it at the end of this video as well. Gonna be working on a new project. Probably only gonna put that in with like the members stuff now. If you're not a member and you want to be, you can hit that join button down below and become a member, and you get access to members only video chats or members only video like Q&As, stuff like that. So we're gonna be putting some cool content in there, a little trial and error type stuff, with I guess a new version of unicorn pussy, or probably going to be calling it unicorn penis, ironically. You'll understand a little bit more why when you see the flake. So like I said, if you want to be a member, join. Links down below. You can hit the join button, or there's a link in the description. If you're looking for unicorn pussy, just go ahead and contact me. All my information will be here at the end of this video. Thanks.